Live on HQ postgame brought to you by Trimfile, where a division came down to this. 4th and goal, Pittsburgh. A touchdown and a kick would have forced overtime. A tie would have even gotten it done in the division. Instead, we will play head-to-head, Baltimore and Pittsburgh, Week 18, to take the AFC North. And for more, we take you right out to the site where the lead analyst of the NFL on CBS, Tony Romo, joins us now. Tony, I can't help but think where that ball is supposed to go on 4th down, or maybe better said, who should be running that fade route on 4th down. How did the absence of DK Metcalf rear its head over this 60 minutes?
You said it exactly right. That was really the difference in the game. I think Pittsburgh probably wins this game if DK Metcalf is out there, because the coverage that you see, they press on the outside with no safety help. Usually there's a safety that comes over and wants to help double team when Metcalf is out there. They got to put him down in there and help on everybody else and in the run game, and he just couldn't quite create those big plays on the outside the numbers. And I think that was kind of the difference in the game, and they kept trying to at the end, 'cause it's like Aaron knows that's where the ball should go versus that coverage, but they couldn't make the play.
It's interesting the way that this one played out, what this offense was incapable of doing vertically without their top target and DK Metcalf. Again, they'll be without him in Week 18 for that division decider as well. A thought here on the other side, because it wasn't necessarily teach tape on a Shadur Sanders, but maybe one of your early looks at him. What did you see in your preparation, the tape he's put forth this season, and then specifically here on Sunday?
I think it kind of like played along with what I saw. I thought there was a progression. He was holding on to the ball too long when he first started. He was doing a few things that were just feeling it out, I call it. For young quarterbacks, they do that sometimes, where they take the snap and they see, like, is anyone coming? And then they're like, okay, I'll see who's open. I'll feel that who's open, instead of actually having the knowledge pre-snap where to go systematically 1, 2, 3 versus this coverage, because the safety came down, linebacker went here. And then all of a sudden you saw the flash plays. And his propensity to actually create the play when there's nothing there is why you get excited if you're a Cleveland Brown fan, because it's like, ooh, that was pretty good. Like, it passes the eye test. Now he's just got to learn the game through experiences, more reps. Some of the plays, the turnovers, he's got to obviously control that. These are just not okay. He got lucky for another one today. But I see him evolving, which is the key. He has the ability to create the big play. Home run. Ability to extend the play. Home run. I need to see that in my franchise quarterback. The ability to learn and progress and, like, show me the evolution of you learning the game and showing me that you're improving, getting better. He's doing that. But the turnovers have to stop. They got away with it today because their defense was outstanding. But I thought there was a lot of good things today. Like, I was actually impressed last week against Buffalo, just checking the ball down, just aggressively taking what the defense gives you. And that could be aggressively taking the check down 5 times in a row. It's 3rd and 18. If they're all back there, throw it underneath. Let your guy do it. And if he doesn't get the first down, move to the next series. They got you. He did that a little bit today.
Fascinating what the Browns franchise will do with the quarterback position, with that guaranteed money coming back and maybe playing some football next season as well. Let's spin it forward here. Week 18, 2 brand names on the same field in Pittsburgh. It's the Ravens, it's the Steelers for a spot in the playoffs for a divisional title. King Henry off 200 plus. A missed opportunity here for Pittsburgh. What comes to mind when you see the current forms of those two teams together?
The missed opportunities, what you just said was exactly right. If you don't make the playoffs and you don't win the division title, you're going to look back to this game today, and you're going to actually go back to what DK Metcalf did after the Lions game in some ways. And so that becomes very difficult. Now, I don't necessarily think Baltimore wants to line up in man and play the same type of coverages that Cleveland did today, but they're going to watch this tape and be like, maybe we should. So it could be interesting next week. I do think Pittsburgh, you're going to have all hands on deck. A lot of guys were hurt, injured, and they wanted to save them for the playoffs. There's a good chance to see a lot of guys out there that you didn't expect, and that'll make it very interesting next week if they get all those guys back on defense when they show up for a playoff game, basically.
Yeah, TJ Watt come on down with the season on the line. We'll see if that is the case. Tony Romo, it's always good when you're here, pal. Great to be with you.
Eccles, Pierre.
5th straight year. Of course, the Super Bowl champs, the reigning Super Bowl champs, and the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Bills today in Buffalo. Guys, at the beginning of the year, and maybe still, we thought this could have been a Super Bowl matchup. I want to start with the Eagles, though, because we have not been talking about this team a lot, getting better than they were a couple weeks ago. Matt, where do you stand on them right now?
I think they're a dangerous team, as you get ready for the playoffs, because defensively, we've been talking about it the whole show. Defense, run game, taking care of the football, taking the football away. They can do that. And I think it's a group that they play this game today. You'd like to see offensively a little bit more rhythm. And that's been kind of the Achilles heel throughout the entire year. The biggest point of concern for the Eagles has been that rhythm of the offense. But I think they can do it. I think they can find a space. They're playoff tested. They understand what it takes to win this time of the year. They've got a coach that understands that. Regardless of what the outside may think, he's led them in these types of situations. I think we're going to see a little like we saw last night in that Green Bay-Baltimore game, the run game. We are going to lean on the run game, the quarterback in the run game. Jalen Hurts getting involved in that as they come down the stretch, I think is going to be really important. I think this is a big game for them in terms of momentum heading into the playoffs.
I'm glad that you said that, because both you and AP this week brought up that you want to have that edge going into the playoffs. Both of you had stories and examples of times you did and times you didn't.
Yeah, I mean, 2007, it was one of those years where we're fighting it into the playoffs, and we had to beat Buffalo because the following week we're playing undefeated Patriots, and okay, you get a little rhythm, but we played the Patriots well, right? In that game, we were up, and they won by 3, right? And we kind of went to the playoffs and had a run and won. Well, the next year, we're defending Super Bowl champions. We start off 3-0. We lost to the Browns Monday Night Football, and then we went on a streak, 7, 8 games in a row. We're 10-1, 11-1. Had a little issue with the player. We're number 1 seed. But the way we ended the season, that month of December, it didn't feel the same like the year before. Even though we were a better team, better record, we didn't have that swag. We didn't have that fire. I didn't feel burning inside of us. And there's a lot of factors that go into that. And I think that's what you're seeing with the Eagles. Like, they're on a high, right? You're coming off a 6-month being paraded around Philly and the whole world. And then the season happens, and now you have some internal issues. And then you kind of overcome that, and you win your division. And now you say, you know what? We got this team up in Buffalo with this quarterback, and everybody's talking about him. This is a great game for them to really set the tone going forward into the playoffs for me.
I think it's really good for them coming off a championship that it hasn't been smooth sailing. That it hasn't just been, it's rinse, repeat. We're doing it exactly the same way as we did it the year before. I think it's good there's been this healthy internal friction because it sharpens the sword. Like you were saying, it gives edge heading into the playoffs of like, no, it hadn't been perfect. We got to get it right now. We've got to get rolling. And it's led to, we're not answering questions about, is this team primed to repeat? I don't think anybody's asking that question right now, given some of the issues, that we've seen there. And I think that may, in a way, be a good thing for them heading into the playoffs, that it hasn't been this expectation that we're just going right back to the championship game.
A lot has been said about the Philadelphia Eagles offense, or lack thereof, when you're comparing it to last, who was as dominant up front as anybody. I've been whispering it since the beginning. Their O-line hasn't been healthy. They haven't been right. And if that ain't right, they're not going to be right as a whole. But it's the defense, okay? We talk about glue guys on a roster often. How about glue coordinators? Guys like Vic Fangio, okay? So when your chips are down, when your back's against the wall, Vic Fangio is the kind of coordinator I want in my corner, especially if you're playing against a guy like Josh Allen and James Cook and this offensive line for the Buffalo Bills. Bend, but don't break. That's the mantra for Vic Fangio. Force them to make something stupid happen. They have to earn every set of 3 yards of the entire way to the end zone. No explosive plays. That's what I look for today. Can the Philadelphia Eagles limit the explosive runs for the Buffalo Bills? And it starts with those guys on the defensive front who are extremely talented, but I question their motivation sometimes.